morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told out of Voice of Radio. So today, I am here to show you the first Stonjourner card we've ever had in the Pokemon trading card game. It's a Pokemon V, and I'm kind of a fan. Kind of. Yeah, let's have a look, shall we? Now, I know that yesterday and today I'm uploading quite a lot of videos. Depending on how much is revealed on Friday, we might end up doing this for a little while. The reasoning is very simple. I don't want to just chuck all the cards into one little video and essentially turn myself into a website. I want to really bring you the analysis and tell you all about these cards, whether they're good, why they're good, etc. But let's just say Japan, and to be fair, you know, TPCI as well, dropped a lot of information all in one go. So please bear with me. I'm getting through it as fast as I can. We'd had no proper news for like weeks. And then they were like, boom! And I'm like, oh. So Stonjourner then. What can we say about it? 220 HP is on the high end for Pokemon V. That's pretty nice. Weakness to grass is honestly alright. There just aren't that many good grass decks around at the moment, and the fact is that if there are ever any good grass Pokemon coming around, we've still got Welder and all the fire decks that brings with it, so yeah, we're cool. I don't like the retreat cost of 3 though. The retreat cost of 3 means that it cannot be searched out with Pokemaniac. That makes me a little bit sad because I want to search it out with Pokemaniac. And as much as there's a lot of good thing about Pokemon V, I don't like the fact that you cannot search them out with Cherish Ball because they are not Pokemon GX. And it's a fighting Pokemon. And being a fighting Pokemon is awesome. We'll run through this when we do some maths properly in a minute, but we got Diancie Prism Star to do an extra 20 damage. We've got Martial Arts Dojo to do extra damage. We've got Karate Belt to reduce the attack cost of our attacks. And we're hitting weakness on a lot of good stuff like Pikachu and Zekrom, like Megalopony and Jigglypuff, like the recently revealed Snorlax V Max. Frankly, ladies and gentlemen, it's a good time to be a fighting Pokemon. So you got a lot of HP, a pretty nice weakness, and a great typing. All we need is a couple of good attacks, and we are going to be rolling over happy people. So the first attack, 1 fighting energy, and we don't need any translations because we got English scans. Yay! 40 damage. During your opponent's next turn, this Pokemon takes 20 less damage from attacks. Yeah, it's pretty gosh darn good. It's really gosh darn good. And it's for 1 energy, and that's the key here. That's what's important. It is for a single energy. Now, 40 damage itself is fine, but when we start running through the maths here, it gets a lot better. Now, obviously, if you're up against a Ditto Prism Star, hey, you only need to do 40, life's looking pretty good. And, of course, if you're against any evolving Pokemon that is a colourless Pokemon, then you're hitting them for weakness, so you might be alright, although honestly, probably the most prevalent one at the moment, well, you're either going Pidgey, so you can evolve into Pidgeotto, but that's got a resistance to fighting, or you're going type Null, so that you can evolve into the new Silvally GX, which, incidentally, very good card. I expect to see it continuing to see more and more play, and well, let's just say it's got more than 80 HP. I mean, the new one, the one that came out in Cosmic Eclipse, I like quite a bit. None of them are particularly amazing, to be honest with you. But it's got 110 HP. So just hitting 40 damage, even with weakness, isn't quite going to be enough. But you see, what really makes this such a good attack is Diancie Prism Star. Because it's a basic Pokemon. You should be able to get it out moderately easily. And now, all of a sudden, it's not 40, it's 60. And 60 is where it starts getting a whole lot more interesting. Because you know how I said Type Null has 110 HP? Yeah, it's also got a weakness to fighting. So that means that you're hitting 120. And oh, look. Now you are getting a one-hit KO. That's kind of beautiful. But also, 60 HP is where we really start a lot of the time with the HP of these evolving basics. So, Malamar's a pretty good deck. Yeah, Inkay's got 60 HP. And we're going to see more and more of this as we go. Now, Naganadal's also pretty gosh darn good, and Poipol's got 70. But even so, it's still pretty gosh darn good. And we can keep pushing this. Because, you see, we can hit 70 kind of easily with Martial Arts Dojo. Martial Arts Dojo does an extra 40 if we've got a basic fighting attached and we're behind on prizes. But even if you're not behind on prizes, it does an extra 10. So with a Diancie and a Martial Arts Dojo, we're hitting 70, and then we are getting the majority of evolving Pokemon. And that's what I love so much here. As a side note, it will also run through Oranguru like hot butter, and well, I don't know about you, right? I like seeing Oranguru taken down a peg or two. This makes me pretty gosh darned happy. So I like this first attack. I've made no secret of my love for Regirock V. I adore Regirock V. But Regirock V doesn't really do much in the early game, right? Regirock V... well, you need 2 energy to hit for 30, plus 10 more for each damage counter on you, except you got to have some damage on you. It's not really working, right? I love Regirock V, but if I've not got much energy on the board, if I'm struggling a little bit, Stonjourner comes in as a much, much better option. And really here, we are expecting most of the time to be hitting 70 damage for a single energy in the early game and just taking out all those evolving Pokemon. Now, there is the option here of actually using Miss Magius, which you can evolve up turn 1 using a Duskstone, and then if you KO it, firstly, you draw until you've got 7 cards in hand, meaning you'll draw that Martial Arts Dojo, etc. more easily. But secondly, it means Martial Arts Dojo does an extra 40. And now we're hitting 100 damage for a single energy. That's pretty nice. That is pretty nice. The one thing I do lament here, however, is that Snorlax V has 220. So even with the weakness, we're still... even when we're behind on prize with Martial Arts Dojo, with Diancie Prism Star, we're still going to be 20 damage short, which is a little bit upsetting. But hey ho, you're still doing a decent amount of damage. Guard Press is good. And you take 20 less from attacks next turn. It's nice. It's not really what I'm focused on here. It gives you an effective HP of 240. So let's give one example, right? Let's say Zamazenta hits 230. So they will be 10 damage short of getting a KO. There we go. That'll work. It'll avoid the odd KO here and there. It's nice to take less damage, but make no mistake about it, I am focused on this being a good early game attack. If I'm going second and I need to start doing some damage straight away, this is my boy. And there is a second attack here as well. Mega Kick. Free fighting energy, 150 damage. That's it. That's what it does. Okay. It's alright. It's not stunning. It's fine. If you're behind on prizes, you do have the option of using Karate Belt to bring it down to 2 fighting energy. But the fact of the matter is we don't have great ways to accelerate fighting energy at the moment. We've got Groudon from Cosmic Eclipse. It's not terrible. Lets you attach extra energy. It's not great if I'm honest with you, but it's fine. It's not offensive. But this isn't one of those typings where it's easy. This isn't like a fire deck where they're just like, oh, free energy, great. Welder attached for turn, boom, done. That ain't where we are, ladies and gentlemen. That's not what we're talking about here. It's not quite that easy. And honestly here, I'd rather play Regirock. Like, if we're talking about free energy on a basic fighting Pokemon V, I'd rather play Regirock. Because, you see, Regirock, there's 2 things I like more. I mean, they've both got the same HP, right? But firstly, Regirock hits 190 rather than 150. And secondly, there's a colourless component to the energy cost. Which means Regirock V, I can pull off fancy tricks like using a Tapu Koko Prism Star to accelerate a lightning energy. And then using Karate Belt. And boom, now I'm going. I can use a Miss Magius and get Regirock going in 1 turn. Miss Magius, Karate Belt, Energy, Tapu Koko, done. I can't do that with Stonjourner. Now, I know Regirock does 30 damage to itself. I think that's a price worth paying. I mean, to take a really specific example, let's say Snorlax V Max comes out. He's a big boy. Well, You need Diancie Prism Star to get a one-hit KO with Stonjourner. Now, to be fair, with Diancie Prism Star, you'll be hitting 170, and then with a weakness 340, but Regirock V doesn't. And then what if there's just other random Pokemon? What if it's an Ultra Necrozma? In order to get a one-hit KO on Ultra Necrozma, Regirock V needs to attack. In order to get a one-hit KO on Ultra Necrozma, Stonjourner V needs to be behind on prizes and have a martial arts dojo. It's the only way you're pulling it off. But then what if we keep going? Naganadel GX, the second one, the really good one. Regirock V goes, right, I can do it with a Diancie Prism Star. Stonjourner needs a Diancie Prism Star and a martial arts dojo when you're behind on prizes. Except Regirock V that way gets up to 250 and gets a one-hit KO on so many other things that Stonjourner V doesn't. That's my point here. Hey, let's take Zamazenta V as an example. Stonjourner's not getting a one-hit KO. Regirock V can. So the second attack here, I'm underwhelmed purely because I think we can do better. It really is as simple as that. But I adore it for the first attack, and I'm giving it 4 Wassies. I think you play it with Regirock. And I think in terms of early game single energy attackers, you got a decent amount of damage, you reduce the amount of damage done to you, you've got huge HP, and you've got all these lovely fighting tricks. Count me in, ladies and gentlemen. Count me in. But can I count you in? Let me know in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWassy, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that good stuff, head on over to patreon.com/PTCGRadio, where you can do exactly that. And please do make sure you're checking out youtube.com/WassyPlays, where you can, well, check out a whole bunch of videos that don't have Pokemon in. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.